what is the data with the government? What is the extent of the illegal immigration post 71?
I'll just point out.
Do we have that data?
No, this is.
So they would, Malad.
No, everybody qualified to get citizenship, but everybody didn't get citizenship as a matter of fact. Because unless there was a detection order, you wouldn't get citizenship.
Limited question of constitutional validity of Section 6A, which by itself confined to very few individuals between a particular period of time. This examination has nothing to do with any other amendments in the Citizenship Act. So that there may not be any misunderstanding, deliberate or otherwise, and any further consequences. This is a very, very limited issue being examined. Lord, second, Lord, so far as the ground realities which are pointed out by the petitioners are flux of immigrants from foreign countries, they eat away, as to borrow their words, my Lord, the resources which were otherwise available to them. There are less opportunities, less job opportunities. There is demographic change, etc. Lord, all their concerns are true. Submission is declaring Section 6A to be unconstitutional is not the solution. Problem, there is a serious problem. There is an ongoing problem. But 6A is confined to a particular period of time, and declaring it to be unconstitutional would not be the solution of this problem. Either I was born in undivided India or my father or my grandfather. So your lordships have three categories. First, the category in which it applies, the Assam, a very limited geographical area. The category from which the persons are permitted, only Bangladesh, a very limited area. And the persons who would be getting the benefit under 6A have to fulfill these conditions, and therefore very less number of people. It may be in thousands.
Now, how did the government, undivided India means undivided India as defined in the Government of India Act of 1935.
That is defined under the
2B. But now under the Government of India Act, undivided India comprised Pakistan,
yes.
Bangladesh also.
Bangladesh was not there.
Of course, it was East
part of Pakistan. Yes.
Today's Bangladesh.
Yes, it was. Yes. Today's Bangladesh was a part of undivided India. But undivided India, my lord, is defined in the Citizenship Act itself.
It is. It's 2B. I think 2.
It's 2B.
2H.
No, I'm sorry. 2H. To mean undivided India as defined under the Government of India Act 1935. I am declared to be a foreigner falling within the parameters of 6A.
Under the Foreigners Tribunal Order of 64, could an individual go to the tribunal and say that, well, yes, now in view of this 85 amendment, declare me to be a foreigner?
Yes.
Or does a show cause notice have to be issued to him? And
both ways. Both ways. My lord, suppose somebody is, there is an apprehension that he is a foreigner. Then show cause notice would go that you are an illegal immigrant. He will go to the Foreigners Tribunal and say that I fulfill 6A condition, and therefore I am a foreigner, but I am entitled to the protection under 6A. If he is not.
Before 1985, nobody would have gone to the Foreigners Tribunal and say, please declare me as a foreigner.
Correct.
Because the consequence would be deportation.
Correct.
So before the 85 Act, there was no question of any individual going.
Correct.
But after the 85 Act, it becomes not a cause for deportation, but it becomes a cause for protection, grant of citizenship.
Your lordships are right.
So is there a provision by which an individual can go to the tribunal and then say, okay, please declare me to be a foreigner? Or how does it work actually?
I'll show that. But there are provisions under the Foreigners Act. He can go. But that was the root cause of the agitation which started. Because nobody was going for being declared as a foreigner, because the result would be deportation, and therefore the influx, my lord, created, my lord, genuine concerns with the ethnic people, and that started. And the government was, my lord, faced with a situation whether to accept the entire demand of the people of Assam or to permit everyone to come. And I'll show the government, my lord, somehow, my lord, brought the issue down to a middle way. And that started and the government was, my lord, faced with a situation whether to accept the entire demand of the people of Assam or to permit everyone to come. And I'll show the government, my lord, somehow, my lord, brought the issue down to a middle way. What they were saying was that whoever has entered after 51 should be deported. That was, my lord, the demand of Assam Gana Parishad, Assam Students Union, etc. That was the demand when, my lord, the government was negotiating. And therefore, my lord, this 66, my lord, deadline came into being. My lord, I'll show the history.
We would also like to know you may go about it in your own way. How are those dates taken? What is the logical basis for the dates?
There is
1166 and
I'll just,
23.
my lord, immediately answer that. Lord, I'll immediately answer that. The first date is, my lord, 66. Lord, 66 is taken to be the date because on that date, an electoral roll was prepared containing names of everyone, my lord, whether disputed or undisputed, natives or illegal immigrants, and the elections took place in 67. The first date is, my lord, 66. Lord, 66 is taken to be the date because on that date, an electoral roll was prepared containing names of everyone, my lord, whether disputed or undisputed, natives or illegal immigrants, and the elections took place in 67.
One is of Indian origin. One is other categories of foreigner. Could there be a third category?
My lord, in the context of this matter, there is none. Otherwise, my lord, there is a category of OCI, my lord, overseas citizens of India, my lord. But we are not concerned with that.
Their argument is strike it down under 14. You didn't do to West Bengal what you have done to Assam. You have an equal illegal immigration into West Bengal. You've just let it be. Let it be in the sense they are liable to be deported. You granting them legality in Assam. One is the 14 argument. But beyond that now, we are going beyond the validity argument.
Correct.
What are we doing? Why? First, we want to know what was the reason which prompted Parliament to exclude West Bengal from the grant of citizenship? We are not saying that they should have granted it. But why? What is it that led us to believe that this problem was peculiar to Assam and not to? If argument could not have been from the Indian perspective that there was an agitation in Assam.
Cannot.
Actually, you know, Mr. Solicitor, there are two categories which 6A covers. One, people who came before 1166. Second, people who came between 1166 and 25,371. For those who came before 1166, there were two conditions. One, you must have come from the specified territory, namely that, you know, the specified territory means
present
Bangladesh. Second, you must be of an Indian origin. Indian origin as defined in the provisions of 6A1D, namely both your parents or any of your grandparents must have been born in undivided India. That's the second. And third, that you have continued to be an ordinary resident of Assam since you came before 1966. So 6A2 contained these three provisions, right? 6 others trying to point out is, I think,
other than 6A,
that you have a larger group of people who came from the specified territory. In that larger group, a smaller group of persons who got the benefit of 6A by actually becoming citizens.
Lord, that was a part of the settlement which resulted into, my lord, a legislative enactment. That's the position. But foreigner tribunals are, my lord, functioning. The number of foreigner tribunals are required to be increased. My lord, the space requires to be increased, and for post 71 influx, my lord, the steps need to be taken. My lord, I'm not shying away from.
Though the analogy is not exactly correct in this case, in Ramanohar Lohia, Chief Justice Hidayatullah gave the example of concentric circles. Concentric circles. You know, the bigger circle, the smaller circle.
Yes.
Now, in this case, the bigger circle, to use Chief Justice Hidayatullah's analogy, the bigger concentric circle consists of people who came into India from Bangladesh between 66 to 71. The smaller concentric circle within that larger concentric circle is people who get the benefit of citizenship under 6A. The area between the larger and the smaller circle is of people who came in between 66 and 71, but never got the benefit of citizenship.
So they would, Malad.
No, everybody qualified to get citizenship, but everybody didn't get citizenship as a matter of fact. Because unless there was a detection order, you wouldn't get citizenship.
Yeah, correct. Well, no, the detection. Yeah, I understand the point.
Therefore, between that smaller circle and the bigger circle, there was a group of persons who had come, who were still in India, but never got citizenship.
Malad, I'll add one more.
What happened to those people?
No, Malad, I'll just say. Everyone who came between 66 to 71 will have to be given citizenship if declared to be foreigner by the tribunal. The problem is, if the tribunal takes a little longer decision, Malad, for declaration, or either way the tribunal decides whether you are a foreigner or you are not a foreigner, and there is a challenge to the High Court, to this court, remand, etc., Malad, then that period, Malad, they are not getting the citizenship because it has to be dependent upon a final adjudication that you are a foreigner.
Because the difference between subsection 2 and subsection 3 is, under subsection 2, Parliament decided that anybody who came before 1166 would become a citizen, subject to fulfilling 3 conditions: Indian origin, specified territory, and ordinary residence.
Correct.
All right, once you satisfied it, there was a deemed conferment of citizenship. 3 does not do it for those who came in between 66 and 71. 3 says detection by a tribunal is necessary.
Correct.
Now, where there is a detection by the tribunal, those people would be conferred citizenship under 6A3. They get citizenship. What happens with those who never got the benefit? Because then their status...
Never got, Malad, may not be correct.
So tell us broadly.
Okay, can I, Malad, take your lordship the way
the figures,
6A I read?
The figures. How many people got the benefit of 6A2? How many people got the benefit of 6A3? And third, to complete the trajectory, how many people actually came into India between 1950 and 1970, 71 from the specified territory?
Look, some figures are available.
Chosen 25th March 1971 excludes all those who came in during that period of flux in Bangladesh, because the cutoff date is not 16 December 1971. It's 25 March 1971. So anybody who came in, that's right. That's what he just said. But therefore, anybody who came in after Operation Searchlight has been excluded from the benefit of such citizenship.
Yes.
Does Government of India have data? And Mr. Solicitor, we understand the problems of all this as well, because culturally, you're dealing with people who look exactly like you. They speak the same language. They dress the same way.
No.
What is the data with the government? What is the extent of the illegal immigration post 71?
Malad, I'll just, Malad, point out.
Do we have that data?
No, this is my answer, Malad, not the government's answer, Malad, because I could not, Malad, get it from the record. So far as Bengal is concerned, Malad, the general discussion which I have with the officials is that Assam faced the problem and raised it at a level for the simple reason that culturally, Bangladeshis and Assamese were so different that it was easy to identify.
Their argument is, strike it down under 14. You didn't do to West Bengal what you have done to Assam. You have an equal illegal immigration into West Bengal. You've just let it be. Let it be in the sense they are liable to be deported. You granting them legality in Assam. One is the 14 argument. But beyond that now, we are going beyond the validity argument.
Correct.
What are we doing? Why? First, we want to know, what was the reason which prompted Parliament to exclude West Bengal from the grant of citizenship? We are not saying that they should have granted it. But why? What is it that led us to believe that this problem was peculiar to Assam and not to... Argument could not have been from the Indian perspective that there was an agitation in Assam.
Cannot. That can't be.